Well, this is the first coat of the last coat of the body done. That was done with about 3 coats of yellow because the primers keep on showing through. And that is also round the outside. I didn't do round this boot area. I didn't do much paint in there, all clear, but there's 4 coats of paint on that and 3 coats of clear. So that's all ready. And then I'm just now doing these, and as you can see I've got all those spider cracks all over the place. I'm going to get rid of every one of those spider cracks, otherwise they'll come straight through the paintwork. Spider cracks are gel coat only. They don't crack the fiberglass. So there's one that I haven't got properly, it's not quite done properly yet, but the fiberglass will move but the gel coat won't, and it just cracks. So you've got to fill those up and chase all those cracks out. These here, I've got fiberglass in behind, and it's quite thick. There's 2 or 3 layers in there, but you've still got to take or feather that top off, and you can put 1 layer of fiberglass on there. I'm just going to put, because it's a rounded surface, I'll just put auto filler on those, but I'll give you a shot of that as soon as I've got this one all sanded down, and the last bit of fiberglass and those little pieces, and a bit of bog in there. So we'll probably this bog here, well, that's just the base coat. It'll probably need another two fine coats after that to get it right. So it's on its way. Just done the 2nd coat of bog. I've also just welded up a lot of little pieces of holes. There's a lot of holes over the windscreen safety frame. Must have been another 10-15 holes I welded up. So this one here, we can rub this down and I should be able to put a coat of primer over the whole thing. Just finished drilling all the gauges into the dash. Looks a lot neater now. Missing is the big rev counter in here, and I've put the little rev counter. Also missing is the volt gauge, which you get in the middle of this little USB charge here. There's a little volt gauge in the middle of there, so you don't need a volt meter up on your dash. And oil pressure switch, turn signal, high beam light, and ignition. I've had to bodgy up the ignition because these are LEDs, and this one has to have a little bit of resistance in the ignition line going to the alternator. So it's got to be a tungsten filament bulb in there, so I drilled all the guts out of the LED and shoved a bulb in there, which will be fine. It'll work. Well, everything's ready for painting now. I think there's only a couple of little wee tiny things in the front. I think there's one little blemish there. The rest of it's pretty good. I think I can paint it. See what happens. Well, just finished the colour coat on this machine. It's going to look quite nice with the black surrounds and the back piece on the bonnet. I actually had a few touch-ups to do because there was a couple of yellow specks that had been on here that I didn't sand off properly. So I recoated this, and it's wet and it's cold at the moment, and this turned completely white. Oh no, to do another coat. But when it dried, I gave it a sand, and then I put a bit of Pripsil wax and grease remover on it just to gloss it up, and the clear coat's going to make that gloss up. It's just the sanding that has made it look a little bit bloody milky at the moment. You see, I don't know if you can see that, but right there, there's another little milky piece just there in the middle of there, from there to there. It's pretty hard to see, but that has got a little bit of sanding on it, and it'll gloss up as well. That there is just a little bit milky there as well. The rest of it's black. I don't know why, just a few pieces went milky, but they will gloss up when I put the clear coat on the top.